My eyes flick open, and for a blissful second, it's just darkness. Ordinary darkness, the familiar way my room sits cloaked in the depths of night. Then my heart stutters in my chest. It's too dark, too thick. The shadows in the corners of my room should be softened by the faint sliver of moonlight from my window, but tonight, they're inky black wells, sucking in all light. A bead of cold sweat traces a line down my temple. I swallow down a whimper, every muscle straining to listen. It's there. A prickling sensation down my spine, an absolute certainty that something else shares this room. It's not a noise that alerted me. It's a shift in the air itself, a wrongness that sends shivers rippling across my skin. The closet door. It was fully shut when I went to sleep. I remember the soft click of the latch catching, but now it gapes open slightly, a sliver of even denser blackness spilling out. Did I imagine closing it? Or did something open it? A sharp breath hisses past my lips. I want to scream, to thrash, to do anything other than lie here paralyzed by terror. My fingers twitch against the bedsheets. I have to see, to know, with terrible certainty, what's lurking in the dark. With excruciating slowness, I force my arm to move, to stretch toward my bedside lamp. Just as my fingers brush against the cool metal, a sound cuts through the silence. A faint, wet rasp, right by my ear, and with it, the foul stench of old, rotting meat. My hand freezes. The sheets beside my head rustle, slowly, like something heavy and slick is dragging itself along them, getting closer. The rasping breaths intensify, bubbling and guttural. Closer. Closer. I can't take it anymore. I squeeze my eyes shut, let out a strangled yell, and roll away. My leg bangs against the edge of the bed, sending an explosion of pain through my shin. It barely registers. I scramble backward, flailing for the wall, for the light switch. And then my hand connects with icy flesh. Something smooth and inhumanly cold, shaped disturbingly like a finger. The scream rips from my throat before I can stifle it. I jerk my hand back, a sob caught in my clenched teeth. It wasn't just one finger. It was an entire hand, skeletal and dry, the skin stretched so tight it seems translucent. It scrabbles against the worn carpet, then slithers onto the bed, those horrible, skeletal fingers inching toward me. I scramble toward the opposite end, kicking wildly at the covers, trying to break free. My foot connects with something solid, and a brittle snap echoes in the room. But whatever monstrous thing owns that hand doesn't even flinch. I'm trapped against the headboard, choking on desperate breaths. The hand is reaching out now, tracing the air where my legs were a moment ago, searching. In the dimness, I think I see movement under my bed. Something large, shifting, uncoiling. Another skeletal hand. No, two. Join the first, crawling onto the mattress like grotesque spiders. Then, from the shadows, two pinpricks of malevolent yellow light. It's watching me, calculating. The rasping, wet breaths are almost on me now. I can feel the putrid graveyard stench, as though whatever this creature is, it's clawed its way up from the rotting earth. With a desperate surge of adrenaline, fueled entirely by pure, primal terror, I twist away. My foot catches the edge of the nightstand, sending it crashing over. My water glass shatters, the icy remnants soaking into the sheets. The creature hisses, a dry, rattling sound. In that split second, I lunge for the light switch, flicking it on with frantic fingers. The room explodes in harsh, fluorescent light, and for a single, terrible moment, I see it. Crouched under the bed, it's a nightmare given form. Skin like old parchment pulled taut over bone. Limbs impossibly long and twisted at unnatural angles. A skull-like face, but stretched, distorted. A gaping maw lined with splintered teeth. It blinks, those burning yellow eyes seeming to sear themselves into my brain. Then it rears back with a screech that vibrates in my chest. The skeletal hands shoot out, reaching. Then, darkness. The bedside lamp explodes in a shower of glass. The room is plunged back into that thick, oppressive gloom. I scramble blindly, driven by instinct. My shoulder slams into the wall and I stumble towards the door. It has to be unlocked. It has to be. As I fumble with the knob, I hear the scuttling noise behind me. It's coming, getting closer. My fingers slip on the worn metal of the knob. The rasping breath is hot on my neck. My throat burns with a scream that never escapes as I wrench the door open. Stumbling out onto the darkened landing, I'm no longer in my familiar home. The hallway stretches into inky nothingness, like it's been swallowed by a void. Slam the door. That's the only thought pounding through my head. Slam the door before it gets out. But my frantic fingers collide with nothing. There's no door frame, only cold, smooth walls stretching in either direction. The doorway, like the rest of my house, has vanished. No time to process this. Terror propels me forward. I run down the impossible hallway, feet slapping against warped floorboards that creak and moan underfoot. It's a grotesque parody of my own home. The grandfather clock that sits at the end of the hall is there, but melted and drooping, its pendulum a jagged shard of metal. A shriek splits the silence behind me. I dare a glance back, and my whole body contorts in revulsion. The thing from my bedroom is crawling through the wall like it's made of liquid shadow. Its gaping maw stretches impossibly wide, and those glowing eyes burn with predatory hunger. My lungs ache as I force myself to keep running, weaving around warped, familiar furniture. My childhood teddy bear sits in the shadows, dust-caked fur replaced with writhing snakes, its button eyes gleaming red. I choke back a sob. My haven, my safe place, is a graveyard of twisted memories. The air thickens. Every breath feels like sucking in tar. Desperation gives way to numbing disbelief. This isn't just a nightmare anymore. It's a violation. My mind stumbles over that thought, unable to comprehend the impossible reality of this place. But a different part of me, a primal, instinctual part, understands that the nightmare is my reality now. Then, voices. Not the guttural rasping of that skeletal creature, but familiar ones. My mother's soft laugh, my father's gentle admonishments. I twist towards the sound, a flicker of impossible hope igniting in my chest. Mom? Dad? My voice cracks from disuse. The familiar scents of their perfume and aftershave hit me, and for a blissful second, I almost believe this whole terrifying chase has been a cruel trick. But as I step into the warped living room, my hope shatters. They're there, but wrong. Their faces are blurred, melted like wax, eyes pools of the same blank yellow I saw in the creature. Their mouths move, but the words that come out are distorted. A horrifying chorus of my name mixed with accusations and echoes of old regrets. I stumble back, my sanity teetering on the edge. It was all a cruel trap, playing on my deepest emotions. This nightmare isn't just about physical terror. It's stripping away every fragment of comfort, every happy memory, and twisting them into fresh instruments of torture. My legs give out. I collapse to the floor, sobs tearing themselves out of me. I should run. Keep searching for what? An exit that doesn't exist? A safe haven within these crumbling walls of my own twisted memories? The floor tilts nauseatingly, and I'm suddenly aware of the grandfather clock chiming somewhere behind me. Midnight. The witching hour. In old stories, a time when the veil between worlds thins. My own personal hell has chosen its hour well. My weeping subsides, replaced by a bone-deep weariness. The creature, my family, whatever horrors this nightmare still conceals, they'll find me. It's only a matter of time. Better to just wait, to let it end. And oddly, with that surrender comes a flicker of something cold and analytical. This isn't just fear anymore. It's deeper. A morbid curiosity to see the full extent of this nightmare's depravity. Perhaps even a sense of defiance. If this is the end, I'll face it head on, without illusions. A scraping sound draws my attention back to the shadows. The creature is there, its skeletal form slinking closer. Its movements are slow, almost deliberate, savoring this final hunt. In the dimness, those burning eyes are even brighter, filled with a terrible intelligence. As it looms closer, a grotesque parody of a body resolving from the blackness, I find myself focusing on a detail. A mark on its neck, like a faded bruise. Almost a handprint? My eyes snap open. Gasping, I sit bolt upright, the echoes of that nightmare still clinging to my terror-soaked sheets. It takes a moment for my eyes to adjust to the gentle pre-dawn light filtering through my window. A moment for my racing heart to slow. Relief washes over me, weak and tentative. Just a dream. Then I see it. The closet door, hanging slightly ajar.